Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of my new podcast, Unapologetically Her. I am your host, Hannah Laska, and I'm so excited to be here. I have a completely new setup. I'm trying a microphone. I'm also recording from 2 separate cameras. So I have my Sony camera rolling, and then I have my iPhone rolling. And we're just going to see which one has better video and better audio, and we're going to go from there. And this episode, I really want to talk about showing up for yourself. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about that. And then we're also going to talk about softness and feminine energy and just how to embody that. So I'm really excited because I haven't even launched episode 1 yet, which is crazy that I'm already recording episode 2. I'm just going with blind faith that this is all going to work out. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about is when you show up for yourself, sometimes it's really scary and it's really nerve-wracking and you don't know where it's going to go, but you just got to keep showing up for yourself. So here I am filming episode 2 and I haven't even launched episode 1 yet. So I don't know how many people are going to tune in, what people are going to think or say. I'm just trusting myself. And I know that by me showing up for me right now, that where else could I go besides up, because I'm taking my energy and I'm applying it to myself and to this podcast. So there's no way it's not going to be beneficial to me. And I want you guys to kind of understand that for yourselves too, is that when you show up for yourself, even if it's not perfect, you're putting in that energy and that effort for yourself, and there's no way you're not going to have a positive benefit from showing up for yourself. And what's really crazy is I kind of have, I'm a human, I have self-doubt. And my first episode, I only used my camera and I actually had some recording issues where it did not record the ending of my podcast, and I was kind of let down about it. And not only that, but the audio wasn't the greatest and the video wasn't the greatest because I didn't have my camera tuned in. And so I contemplated redoing my first episode and starting over. But then I really told myself the message that I shared in that first episode was real and was raw. And so I can't remake that, you can't remake the emotion behind it. So my first episode maybe wasn't the best quality, and that's okay because we're here for round 2. And I want you guys to notice how much better this quality already is than the first episode, because I am all about showing up for me and bettering me and making improvements to be the best version of me. So I got a different ring light set up, and also kind of spoiled. My husband got me a computer for Christmas. So now I can literally see myself on this computer right now. And so I can make sure it's still recording for 1, because in the last episode, it quit recording on me. And then for 2, it just helps me kind of play with the settings a little bit better. So I'm really excited. Okay, enough about me and rambling and blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about softness and feminine energy. I'm really excited to talk about this because this is a journey that I am personally on with myself. It's just feeling safe in my own body. I had a lot of trauma growing up that made me feel not safe in my body. And so now I'm 31, almost 32 years old, and I just want to feel safe in my body. So I'm working on just showing up for me, by doing this podcast and looking in the mirror and just being more feminine and moving softly and freely and allowing my body to feel safe and allowing my nervous system to feel safe. And so I am just on this new journey, and it's really fun and it's really exciting. And it's basically just a journey of coming home to my own body. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And I want to talk a little bit more in depth about softening and being a soft woman, because I think every woman deserves to feel soft. And I don't think a lot of women know what it even means to feel soft, because let's be honest, we live in a world that hardens women because we have to show up. We have to, be the man, I guess, because that's just the way society is. You know what I mean? So for me personally, I think I was kind of soft and feminine when I was younger, and then I had children. And when you become a mom, you have these maternal instincts that are this is a human that I have to take care of, right? So then you start becoming the person who does everything, for me personally, I was doing everything for the kids. I was feeding them, changing diapers, baths, doctor's appointments, buying new clothes, diapers, all the things. And yes, my husband was there for me, and he, was there the best way he could be. But I mentally took on this role that I had to be the strong one for my kids. And so it kind of started to harden me over time to where I was just used to doing everything. And so, like, I wake up, I make food for the kids, I get them ready. And so I just got into this like mode of doing and always being the one who does things, and like also being the one who's like, hey, can you help load the dishwasher? Hey, can you help clean up? Like, it feels like I kind of had to take on all the roles of the house and making sure things got done. And that hardens a woman, because I don't want to be the manager of this home. I want to be the woman of this home who makes it loving and free and happy and beautiful. And when I have to be the manager, I don't have space to be the soft, gentle, delicate version of me that I want to be. So now, for me personally, I am getting used to accepting things. So like, I grew up where I had to grow up at a really young age. I had to raise my siblings, and so I've always had to be on like go mode, where I feel like I have to be doing to be successful. And that goes into all aspects of my life, not just my home life, but with my career as well. I have this mentality that I have to do all the time to be successful. And that's actually really toxic. That's hustle culture, and that's a woman being in their masculine energy. The beauty of being a woman is that you get to be soft. And when you allow yourself to receive gifts from people and gifts from the universe, you get to skyrocket your life so much faster. Because when you just trust in yourself and trust in everything's going to work out, you allow the universe to give you opportunities that you never knew were possible. Because when you're constantly controlling the outcome of everything, how are you going to make room for spontaneity and miracles? Because miracles do happen. You just have to be open to receiving them. So soften up a little bit and stop trying to take control of every single aspect of your life, and just know and trust yourself that it's going to happen for you. And that's what I'm doing right here, right now with this podcast. Like I said, I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know how episode 1 is going to do. But I'm not going to try to force outcomes. I'm not going to try to control it. I'm just going to show up as me, and I'm going to keep doing and trust in me and trust in the universe, and know that it's all going to work out for me, because why wouldn't it? I'm showing up for me, so why wouldn't it work out for me, you know? And so that's the lesson of being soft. Sorry, I'm adjusting a little bit here. So the lesson of being soft is that you just need to trust and know, and stop doing so much. Stop forcing outcomes. I don't know about you, but I am a woman that loves to control things, and I love to control outcomes. So like, for me personally, I'm going to give you an example. I need to make money, right? So I know I can make money by scheduling clients. So when I book my schedule full, I'm a hairstylist, if you did not know that. So if I book my schedule full of clients, of course I'm going to make money. But that puts me in a hustle mindset that, of course, I have to work to make money. And so you feel this pressure and this stress that you have to perform. And so for me, I'm like, oh, if I can make money from doing clients, I'm going to jam pack them in as many clients a day as I possibly can, because I want to make money. So I can do that. But then once you start to like step into your softness, you, like, for me personally, when I stepped into my softness, I stopped scheduling so many clients and stopped worrying about how much money I was going to make, and, how it was going to happen. And I just started to believe that if I show up for myself and I believe in myself, money will find me. And surprisingly, it does. And so you have to get used to being soft and letting the universe give you the gifts. So like, if I were still trying to control the outcome and only allowing myself to make money by doing hair clients, I would have never created a second income for myself, because I would have been putting all of my energy onto making money in the salon, and I wouldn't have been open to receive what the universe had in store for me. And this is part of me being open to receive, is being here with you guys, and it's such a beautiful feeling, and I'm so proud of myself for allowing this. And so if you're in this moment where you feel like you have to hustle and you have to grind and you have to prove yourself, I want you to soften a little bit. And obviously don't go quit your job. Like, that's not what I'm saying, but I am saying allow the universe to find ways to pay you, to reward you for being you. And so here's some other ways that you can find your softness as I look at my soft socks and my slippers. Do things that make you feel comfortable. Wear some slippers around your house. Wear soft socks. Take a bath. Allow your husband to do something for you, like take care of the kids. Or if you don't have a husband, you can take time for yourself and go take a nice, beautiful bubble bath. Another way to step into your feminine energy is to look in the mirror and tell yourself nice things and move your body, sway your hips, move your pelvis because that is your that is your female center. Move it around, feel comfortable with yourself, get used to looking in the mirror and loving what you see and being soft. Another way that you can step into your feminine and your softness, don't have road rage. This is me talking to myself. My kids will say, Mom, you yell at cars a lot. And I'm like, okay, so obviously I need to work on this. This is something that I need to work on. So I always want to get to where I'm going and I want to get there fast. I'm like, get out of my way, beep, beep, NASCAR driver over here. But that is signaling to my nervous system that I'm in a rush and that I'm in a hurry. And so I can't be bliss when I'm in a hurry. You know what I mean? Those two are opposites. So even if you're stuck behind a slow driver who is driving you bonkers, just live in the moment and just like literally think to yourself, okay, this is a moment where I can be soft. I can drive slow right now. I'm not in a hurry. Even if you are in a hurry, just allow yourself to be soft in that moment and see what happens. I feel so blessed to be here with you guys. I have a lot I have a lot of self-doubt too, and I have just really been working on not letting the bad thoughts control me and kind of just really leaning into the good thoughts and the trust in myself. And this is literally blind trust right now. I just can't even get over the fact that I am here doing this podcast and that there's people who want to hear what I have to say. And so like the thought in the back of my head is, well, my setup isn't good enough. People aren't going to want to watch me because I don't look professional, or I'm not a professional speaker. I don't know how to guide a conversation for 30 minutes, but then I realized that I can do it. Right before I got on and filmed this, I was getting my setup ready and I was low-key very nervous. Not as nervous as I was for the first one, which also I want to say I'm really practicing talking slower. Um, Me being the person who feels like I need to prove my worth, I talk really fast and I try to jam pack a lot of information in there so I feel like I'm providing value, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm allowing myself to have a slow conversation with you guys without feeling like I have to prove myself by giving you all of this really valuable knowledge, because sometimes just existing in your energy is knowledge for other people, because sometimes people are watching, like you may be watching me because of the way I carry myself, because I have worked on my nervous system and calming my nervous system. So maybe just us having this conversation is valuable enough and I don't have to prove myself by spitting off a whole bunch of valuable information. So right before I got on here, I was nervous. I was checking my phone and I got a message from someone who said, thank you so much for the videos that you post. I found your page a few months ago and you have literally changed my life. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she said that because I show up for myself with love, I'm teaching her how to show up for herself with love. And so at the end of the day, that's why I'm here doing this, is because I want to teach you that you don't have to be palatable to everybody to be in love with yourself. And honestly, the more people who dislike you, the more you're going to love yourself. Because when you try to people please everybody, you're boring, you're stagnant, because you're riding the safe line, right? Because you don't want to offend people here, you don't want to offend people here, you don't want to offend people here. So you just kind of stay in the middle ground. Well, that's not true to yourself. When you start being true to yourself, it does make people uncomfortable, because when you're true to yourself, you speak your big, bold truths, and not everybody is able to meet you there. And that is okay. You don't have to be liked by everybody to be loved by yourself. And I heard something that said, your haters really are your biggest fans, because hate comes from a place of they're looking at you. So if somebody says, like, oh, you think it's so easy. It's because they're looking at you and you make it look easy and they wish it could be that easy for them too. So when people say something about you, it's truly a projection of how you make them feel with some sort of lack that they have internally. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying be a bad person and don't care about people's feelings. But what I am saying is, when you stand up for yourself and you live in your truth, it is going to make somebody uncomfortable, and that is okay. But you still have to have a moral compass and be a good person. But you don't need to be a palatable person to be a good person. For me personally, people will say, Hannah thinks she's better than everybody, or Hannah thinks she's better than me. That's what I've heard. Somebody has literally told that to me, that they think that I think I'm better than them. But at the end of the day, I have never once thought about a person and said, I'm better than them, because I don't think about other people in a comparison way. I do think about people's feelings, and I think about, how my actions may affect people's feelings, but I never look at myself and think I'm better than that person, because I'm not in comparison with anybody other than me. The only person that I am comparing myself to is me. So I don't think I'm better than anyone else. I think I'm the best. And you should also think that you're the best. And every single person can be the best. And that's the beauty of it, is that if we don't compare ourselves to each other, then me being my best does not take away from you being your best. You get to be your best, and you can think that you're the best ever in your head, and also still hold space and love for other people and know that they can also be their best. Because at the end of the day, everybody's doing our best, and maybe some people's best is not the greatest, but that's okay, because that's their best and that's what they're capable of. And I'm not going to compare where I'm at to where they're at, because we're all on a different journey, right? So compare yourself to you and where you're at in your journey, and look at yourself where you were a year ago and where you are now, and give yourself some props for it. That if anything, you're still here. And that's the biggest win in itself. So even if you feel like you haven't reached your goals, or you're not where you want to be, you're here and you're showing up, and that is worth celebrating, bestie. Don't ever compare yourself to somebody else, because we're all on different journeys and we all have a different starting point, a different set of like morals and limiting beliefs. And we all had a different upbringing, which completely changes who we are and how we react to the world around us. So instead of comparing somebody or judging somebody, hold compassion for them and hold space for them. That is also something that I'm working on. Sometimes I will be quick, like if somebody is really hateful to me and says something hurtful, I'm quick to be like, they need to heal. But that's a judgmental thought. I do hope that they heal, but also I'm going to say to myself, they're probably just doing their best and they didn't mean to come off that way. They just don't have the coping skills or the emotional processing skills to have a reasonable conversation right now. Some people just pop off because they were never showed love as a child, or they were just never modeled how to have emotional security. So instead of me going, hope you heal, it is, I actually truly hope that you heal, but I understand that you are doing the best with what you have. And so I just want to be a more loving and understanding person. And I never want to judge somebody, but as a human, we naturally go there and we think, well, I've done this work, they should do it too. But they didn't start at the same point as me, so how could they be where I'm at now? I cannot think that about people, and we shouldn't think that about people. We should just meet them where they are. I'm going to clear my throat really fast. Okay, but on that note, you can meet people where they are, but some people just may not be right for you. Like they can be where they are in their journey, and they can be emotionally where they are, physically where they are, and spiritually where they are. but that doesn't mean that they have to be for you. Somebody may be completely unaligned to you. They can still be a great person, but maybe you just don't have to interact with them in your day-to-day life. As people, we grow, we evolve, and we change. And so you are going to outgrow people, and that's okay. And you can outgrow them from a place of love. You can say, this narrative no longer fits me, so I don't feel safe in this situation, or this no longer is comfortable for me. This isn't mutually beneficial. This doesn't make me feel good anymore. And you can choose to leave people in your life, and that's okay. Leave them where they are with love and compassion. If you are not capable of showing up for me how I deserve to be showed up for, speaking to me in a way that I deserve to be spoken to, that's okay. I'm not going to force you to speak to me a certain way if you're not capable of it. You can speak the way you want to speak, but if you're not speaking to me how I deserve to be spoken to, then I can remove myself from the situation. That's the beauty in life. You can love people, you can cherish people, but that doesn't mean you have to put up with people treating you badly. That's where your self-love comes in. And that also plays hand in hand with being soft. If somebody speaks to you in a way that you don't like being spoken to, or if somebody treats you in a way you don't like being treated, you don't have to be there. You don't have to put up with it. You can choose yourself first. And you can choose yourself from a place of love. And it can be very healthy to part ways with people. It can be, I love you so much, but this no longer serves me. I choose myself. Bye. You know what I mean? So that's kind of all of the really deep talking points that I want to get into. And now I just want to kind of flow a little bit more softly here and leave you on a couple positive notes. I really have no idea how long we've been here talking, and that's okay. I feel like if I keep going, I'm going to get off into a completely different tangent. I'm really good about that. If you saw my first episode, you might have noticed that I jump around. I just get so passionate about things that I can tie everything together because I'm speaking from my life experience. So every pillar of conversation, I can really tie it into more. So I could just keep on babbling all day long, bestie. But I want to keep this short, sweet, and meaningful. So that way we have a beautiful podcast season ahead of us and we have so much to talk about. And I want to grow with you. I want this to be a time for you and me to both grow. We're showing up for ourselves right now by you watching this. You're watching this because you're dedicating time to yourself. You're choosing yourself. And same with me. I'm dedicating time to myself right now to be talking with you and sharing my love and my energy. And you're doing the same thing by listening to me and taking in my energy and thinking about how you can show up for yourself more. So right now we are both growing as people, and this is so exciting. And I can't wait to watch where our conversations grow and they change and how they evolve. And we're here together, bestie, and I'm so excited. And I really truly hope that the audio is better on this. I have been trying not to move around too much, and to be honest, this is probably in my face in this camera, but that's okay. We're going with the flow. I'm not expecting perfectionism. And you should never expect perfectionism from yourself either. Just show up the best you can and grow each time. So when we show up for episode 3, let's see how much better it gets because I'm going to transport these videos onto my phone. I'm going to listen to the audio, watch the video, and I'm just going to make notes. How can I get better each time I go? And I'm not going to say, oh, well, that wasn't good enough. I have to redo it because we're not self-sabotaging. We are in the era of, I did my best. I know I'm capable of better, and I'm just going to keep on growing. You know what I mean? So that was it for episode 2 of Unapologetically Her with me, Hannah Laska. I love you so much. I want you to take this next week to try to soften yourself and try to be okay with accepting help, accepting nice words, accepting love, accepting spontaneity. Allow yourself to receive in a way that you've never received before. So that way you can soften yourself and you can be in your true soft era, your princess era, your glow up era, your era where people spoil you. You deserve it. We all want to be spoiled, don't we, bestie? Let's allow the universe and the people in our life to spoil us. And then because we're spoiled, we get to spoil back with love and patience and softness. Do you know what it's like to be in the presence of a soft woman? It feels so gentle and full of ease, and we get to be that. We're practicing that right now, our softness, so that way we are a treat to be around. You know what I mean, bestie? Okay, I'm so excited. Thank you for watching episode 2. See you next week for episode 3. Love you so much, bestie.